Welcome back, everybody. It's IGN Live from Gamescom 2018. It's time to check in with Jump Force. Matthew here is going to give us an update. Welcome to the IGN stage.
Welcome.
So Jump Force, obviously the fighting game celebrating the 50th anniversary of Shonen Jump, pulling together characters from all these different properties into one fighting game where they're all going to duke it out.
Yes, indeed. I mean, from the beginning, the game has been thought and designed like a true celebration of this 50th anniversary. So the idea of putting together all the biggest stars from the manga shonens, I mean, all the manga we've grew up with, so definitely something all the manga fans are really excited about.
Yeah. So this is a 3v3 fighting game.
Yes,
right?
indeed.
Each player chooses 3 characters.
Exactly. So you have a team of 3 characters, and you can switch between each other during the fight to choose carefully the characters depending on their abilities and special powers, of course.
Does each character have their own health bar or their own life?
Actually, they're all sharing the same health bar, which is an interesting element, really a strategic element during the fight. You have to really carefully plan your next move to try to save this health bar that you have in common between your 3 characters.
And the player you can switch out characters at any time?
Well, any time, but you have afterwards a cooldown, and you have to wait. And even some special attacks sometimes forces you to switch characters because afterwards your character has kind of spent all his energy, so then you have to switch with another of your fighters.
I see. So why do you think the 3v3 model, why was that chosen?
Well, really, again, the idea of this celebration, all the manga characters joining forces. So we find it in this 3v3 concept, the idea of building a team and mixing the different IPs. That's one of the key concepts of the game.
Yeah.
So for example, if you want to have Naruto, Luffy and Goku in the same team, which is kind of a childhood dream, I must say, that's something possible, and that's something we wanted to be possible in the game.
Like you say, you are mixing a lot of IP here. Is it difficult getting all these sort of varying art styles to sit together in a world where it looks like they all belong there?
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the biggest challenge you've just pointed out. Trying to find consistency in terms of graphics, of course, but the gameplay as well, and the scenario, because there's a story mode where we have to put all those characters together, interact, have some new dialogues. I mean, they've never interacted together, and now they're there talking to each other, fighting each other. So that's something really challenging. But so far, I mean, it's really nailing this in the game.
Well, it goes beyond, the challenge must go beyond just aesthetics, right? Because then you also have to balance all these different characters that have all these different crazy powers, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's also one of the biggest challenge in terms of gameplay, finding a way to have balance and consistency. Although the game won't be, of course, like an esport, hardcore, pure fighting title, we want something still accessible. We want people to be able to trigger those amazing attacks they've always dreamt of. So, yeah.
You mentioned a story mode earlier. There is a story you're telling. Can you give us any sort of hint as to what that is?
Hint is the word. I cannot say a lot. But basically, we have all the good guys from the different manga shonens joining forces to save Earth. And that's exactly what is so unique about Jump Force is that, I mean, for the very first time in the history of manga video games, these heroes are actually part of our reality. They're fighting in New York City, in Hong Kong, for example, and that's something really, unique and exciting about the story mode itself and the context around the game.
So it is supposed to be taking place in our world.
Yeah.
Or at least some version of that.
Yeah, in our different locations. So far we have revealed New York City, Hong Kong, and here we can see some footages of the Matterhorn, which is in the Swiss Alps.
Yeah.
And we have also the different manga universes. We've just announced here at Gamescom the Namek planet from Dragon Ball. But there's some mystery around those places. For example, on the Namek planet, you can see the Statue of Liberty. So,
interesting.
What did happen? How did it end there? And that's the kind of answers the story mode, the scenario will bring to players.
Interesting. So, is it true you're not specifically aiming for this to be an esports game?
Yes, indeed. I mean, the idea is really to build more around the multiplayer, the online experience. We've just announced the online lobby, an avatar creation system. So we want the game to be more casual and easy to pick up and play with friends, rather than something purely meant for hardcore esport competition.
That's interesting. It seems to be taking a little bit of a different approach than a lot of other fighting games out there. So maybe there's like a niche that you're going to be able to fill there.
Yeah, exactly, definitely, especially for all the manga community. I mean, we know all the people are not always video game players or good fighting game players, so we still want something easy to pick up, but still with an interesting skill curve. You have a lot of different gameplay moves to master if you really want to get good at the game.
So of the roster that you've revealed so far, who's your favorite character and why?
Oh, that's a good question. Easy to answer. My absolute favorite character is actually Zoro from One Piece. Really powerful swordman. But I mean, honestly, I've always been a huge fan of manga, so I love all of them, and it's really a pleasure to navigate through the roster and build your team of 3 characters. So yeah, that's something really thrilling when you enter the roster of the game and you are able to pick up between all the stars of the mangas.
Yeah, some of these characters have very incredible powers.
Yes, indeed.
So I guess what I'm getting at is these environments, the stages that you play in, are there any destructible elements in them?
Yeah,
are they able to change throughout the fight?
You can indeed. You have some destructible elements. As you can see on the footage here and there, the attacks are going to leave a mark on the environment. And another interesting element is that there's also different parts in the stages, so you can throw your opponent away and then you will end up in another part. For example, on this stage in the Swiss Alps, you can throw away your opponent further in the stage and you are surrounded by ice because you're getting closer to the summit of the Matterhorn, so that's also something really really nice. I mean, visually speaking, you really leave the fight as if you were there.
So with so many different characters to choose from all these Shonen Jump properties, can you speak at all to how the developers are deciding and selecting who to include?
Well, I would say there's a matter of popularity between the different characters. Obviously, for this kind of game, this kind of celebration of the manga, we are listening to the community a lot. What players prefer, what they would like to do, what characters they are looking forward to playing to. And then, as we said, there's also the question of consistency, bringing the characters that are making sense in this context of manga world, the real world crossing over. So that's the kind of things that we always have in mind when we select characters and the stages as well.
To go along with all of these recognizable characters from various properties, are there any original characters in the game?
Well, actually, at this stage, that's something we're not commenting. But as we are going to enter into more detail about the story mode, obviously we'll have a lot of surprises to reveal around the whole context of the game.
Sure.
So stay tuned, I guess.
We will stay tuned. This is a 2019 game, right? This is coming next year.
2019, indeed.
Have you settled on, is there a release window? Do we know if it's the first half of the year, or are we just saying 2019 for now?
2019 for now.
Okay.
Of course, we'll have more to reveal in the coming months.
Yeah, that's fair. You mentioned there's an avatar creation tool in here, and hopefully we're going to get to see a little bit of that. But what's that all about? Along with all these characters, we're also creating our own avatar?
Yeah, exactly.
Speak to that?
Actually, when you are beginning the story mode of the game, you get to create your own fighter, your own avatar, and then you choose between 3 different teams. One team that is led by Goku, one other by Naruto and Luffy, and you join and you battle alongside your favorite heroes. And this avatar, you also use it in the online lobby. When you're walking through the online lobby and you interact, you meet other players, you're using your own avatar. At this stage, we're just teasing the avatar creation system. It has just been announced, but that's another topic. We have a lot of good surprises to announce in the upcoming months.
So is the idea that your avatar only shows up in the lobby? It's not something that you're going to be fighting with?
You can fight with your avatar, yeah. So you also get to choose the techniques and the style of combat you want for your avatar, on top of his style, of course. But again, that's the kind of surprises we'll reveal. Well,
I hope we can bring up this footage, because I'm curious just to see what this looks like and how many different customization options you have?
Well, at this stage, again, we have just been teasing it, so we can just see one of the avatar, the back of one of the avatar. We see that he's wearing Luffy's outfit, so one of the most famous characters. And he has a different haircut, kind of red hair, so from there you can already guess the kind of possibilities that will be in this avatar creation system.
I have to ask about a couple other, very popular Shonen Jump properties, like My Hero Academia. People are wondering.
That's a question we hear
I know,
a lot.
I'm sure you hear that a lot.
I was expecting this one. Again, as you can expect, we're not commenting at this stage. But I've seen a lot of people on the internet saying that we are announcing a lot of One Piece characters compared to other licenses. And again, although I cannot reveal anything, I can say that we have a lot more in the pipes and a lot more to meet the community's expectation about the roster.
What about Yu Yu Hakusho? That one a lot?
You can take all the mangas and ask me, the answer will be the same. But yeah, honestly, we have a lot, and we are really, really looking forward to announcing everything and seeing the community's feedback and comments about the roster getting bigger and bigger.
Well, Jump Force seems very cool. It seems like you're doing something really different in the fighting game space.
Yeah,
so
indeed.
We're looking forward to seeing more that you have to reveal leading into its release in 2019.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for coming by the IGN stage. Have a great show.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. Still more to come from Gamescom 2018 on IGN Live after this.